for being on time or early, whichever one it was. Gina Medveds and I are anxiously awaiting to get started.
Hi, everyone.
So we'll see as people start to pop in. If you can hear us or see us, please put a yes or no in the chat box, whether you can see and or hear. Tell us where you're from, give us your name, put it right inside the chat box so that we know we can be heard and seen. I'm just going to grab my questions right over here.
I had that chat box up last time. Can I pull that back or no?
That's really not the chat box that we're using. We're using the one that's inside the webinar program.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like we do have some preliminary questions already waiting.
Oh, exciting.
Yes. So please tell us if you can see us and hear us. Okay, I see the numbers going up now, so just tell us where you're watching from. Okay, so Karen, hello, thank you for taking a break. She can see us and hear us. She's working. I know that she was going to try to have a break. If you're still with us, Karen, type your question. I know you sent it to me previously on Facebook. Type your question in here if you can. If not, we'll just jump over to Facebook and grab it. Louisa is on. Hello, everyone. She says hello to everyone's spirit guides. And I'm not going to question just yet. Debbie Lauer is here. Wonderful. Okay, Karen, she's in Wells, Maine. I've never been to Maine. It's on my bucket list.
It's beautiful there. And Karen, really? You're such a trooper. You did such a great job this week.
Yes, yes. A lot of you women I know came to surprising points in your development. So I know some of you might be able to see us live inside of Soul Purpose Society, the Facebook group. So if you're watching us there and you haven't necessarily registered, that's okay. Unless, of course, you have a question, then you'll want to jump in. You can also post your question if you're okay with everybody there seeing it underneath the video in Facebook. That's okay. And I will feed them to Gina. Okay, so it is now 4 minutes after. I don't want to keep the spirit guides waiting. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, thank you so much to everyone who made it tonight, who went through the Bear Your Soul Purpose Challenge, which was short but meaningful. It was really meant to get your blood pumping and really thinking in a brand new way. And just judging by the feedback from so many of you, it looks like that's exactly what it did for you. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for putting these videos and these words and your visibility out there for God and country to see. Thank you for stepping over your fears and really moving forward and using all of us as your soundboard. Thank you for trusting us. We're in for a great night tonight, so I'm going to keep everything brief because I know that everybody's looking to get to the meat of the matter. I'm Liz Smoke. I don't think we've formally met. Some of you I have, but I'm a branding expert. And my purpose is really growing entrepreneurs, businesses, and their personal brands so that they kind of stand above the noise in the world. And I was called to put a whole lot more soul into my business. And there's a story around that, which I'm not going to share right now, but you're all going to know it tonight. And that's why I created Soul Purpose Society. And Soul Purpose Society is what I call an online learning retreat. You'll hear a lot more about that tonight too. But as we get started here at the top of the hour, I do want to introduce you to Gina Medveds, personal friend, luminary in Soul Purpose Society, spirit extraordinaire. I could go on and on. So I will let her tell her side of the story and really let us know what we're in for tonight. Go ahead, Gina.
Hello, everyone, and I'm so glad you're here. I am Gina Medveds. I'm a minister and a soul healer, really. I work with people who are just kind of stuck in life and not very excited, or they are very excited, but they don't know what to do with that excitement. So I work with your spirit guides, and I really help you to heal and find your purpose and move forward. So tonight, this honestly is an experiment. And, in being in groups that I run an angel healing meditation and all different kinds of groups. And I fall into people's records easily. The Akashic records are like an ethereal library of everyone's journey through all of their past lives up until this present moment. And so in getting messages from spirit, it started out where it was only intentional. I sat down, I opened someone's records with a prayer, and then I would be with their spirit guides. But at this point, really, I'm always with spirit, and it happens very easily for me. And so I wanted to try and do this kind of venue, and Liz and I were chatting, and we thought this would be a great way to reward you all for, really doing such a great job this week. So I think, it's funny when we first talked about it, I was going to, let Liz know, hey, maybe tell them that the records are about healing. And if they want to ask questions, it should be something that, what's holding me back? What can help me move forward? And I was thinking maybe I'll just tell her the one thing she shouldn't do is tell them to ask what their purpose is. And then Liz made this video and posted it, and it was like, and you can get your purpose in 60 seconds. Isn't that amazing? And I watched that video, and honestly, I was like, yeah, that's amazing. And so I honestly, in Soul Purpose Society, started to type a response underneath that. And as I was typing it, I got this loud and clear message from Spirit that said, why can't we do this? And I just thought, can you do this? And it was a resounding, yes, this is what we do, right? So here we are. It's a free-for-all, have at it. And, I am a channel for them, and let's see what they got.
Yeah, and apparently they love Google Hangouts. Apparently that's what's happening. They really wanted a Google Hangout. All right, so we're going to get right to it because I know our dear friend Karen is on break. She's working and she's chomping at the bit for her question, so I'm going to start with Karen. Let's see. Karen says, what is the most important next step for me to take to move forward professionally? Let's see, she also has a comment. Let's see if it's related. Maybe I need a better question. What is my soul purpose? Just in case I'm climbing the wrong ladder. To paraphrase Jack Canfield, you don't want to find that out when you get to the top of your ladder that you are climbing the wrong ladder. I love that. Love it. So she says again, Gina, what is the most important next step for me to take to move forward professionally? Or should it be, what is my purpose?
Okay, give me 1 second to listen. Okay, Karen, you are standing in your own way, honey. And that is the most important thing that you can do to move forward is really step aside and let this happen. Don't overthink things. Stop using your brain to think and start thinking with your heart. And in terms of your soul purpose, the soul has a different idea of purpose than we humans do. Humans tend to think my purpose is a job. It's something I need to do, right? Whereas the soul's purpose is really to extend grace, to be a channel for grace and to be there for other people and to love, So you don't have to do more than that. And everything that you do do physically, as in a job, just really needs to fit into that. So love and be that channel, let the divine come in to you and go out through you and flow through you and really impact others. But there's a strong message of stop overthinking this. You're very concerned about what other people are thinking and about putting yourself out there. So I'm sure that this week has been a huge healing moment for you. And you can see now that really in doing that, it works wonders. So, put enthusiasm into that and go for it.
Awesome. Awesome. One thing that I didn't mention in the beginning is after we talk about our questions and the spirit guides really allow us some enlightenment here, we will then go into business and branding questions based on the answers that we receive. So what Karen just received from her spirit guides through Gina was get out of the way and be visible. And that is huge for online entrepreneurs. A very close friend and teammate said to me, you can't sell a secret. And I love that because we become secrets. If we're not out there making videos or we're not out there promoting ourselves, it really becomes impossible to make any money, right? And to live a life of freedom ultimately. So Karen is now at work. She should be at home playing and making up creative things to do. So Karen, we definitely want to talk about the ways you can move out of your own way and be more visible to the world around you that needs you. Your tribe is already waiting for their leader. So we'll talk about more of that in the middle of tonight's call. So let's go on to our next question, Gina. Okay, let me go back up to the top here. I know Debbie Lauer got in early, so we're going to give her justice. She says, this looks like it's on behalf of her husband. So Debbie says, will my husband's perfect employment opportunity arrive soon? Also, I feel I have a special calling. I'm just not too sure what that is. So Debbie, you may want to see which one of those questions you want answered. Gina, I'll go ahead and let you take the floor.
Okay, I'm going to chime in first about your husband, Debbie, and that is that the records are not about the future, okay? They're up until this present moment. So, I'm not getting one way or another. I always ask anyway because spirit is spirit and who knows what they know. But, I'm not getting anything in terms of will he or won't he. And in terms of you feel like you have a special calling and you want to know what it is, or you want to know if you have a special calling?
Because I feel I have a special calling. I'm just not too sure what that is.
Okay. Let me ask. Okay, Debbie, you absolutely have the teacher in your soul. So anything that falls under the realm of teaching, working, really teaching, anytime you're teaching is really where you're going to be in your spotlight and shine. So use that.
Awesome. Yeah, this is all about how we can use our message to be teachers to others, right? This is exactly what we're doing. Okay, so next we have Luisa Gomez Bose. And she says, hello, everyone. Hello, spirit guides. I would like to know what has me stuck. I've been unemployed since the end of January.
Okay. Okay, Louisa. So it's time for you to jump in with 2 feet here, honey, because Spirit is really saying that you keep holding this thing in the back of your mind that you don't need to necessarily try to create a business that works, because it's easier to just get a job and you can always just go back to work. But you're not going to be able to get a job because you also have this little part of you that is saying you really would like to make a go of something. So essentially, you need to decide. You need to let the universe know what direction you want to head in here. And once you do make that decision, everything's going to fall into place for you.
Wow. So we all know that being clear about what we want in the world is paramount, right? We probably all sit on our knees at night saying, universe, God, whatever, please send me the sign. But the universe is actually echoing back to us, please give us a message, right? Tell us what you want. So rather than saying, send me a sign, how about tonight we all do something a little different? Let's tell the universe what we want. So maybe that's up your alley, Louisa. And again, we'll go into more of that in the center of this conference call if you want to stay on and go ahead and rack up more questions for us. Okay, so let's see. We have Casey Elizabeth McClune. She asks, can you tell me when my spirit guides think I will be engaged?
No. Can you tell me? No. Like I said, the records are not about the future. But I can promise you that if you want to be engaged, then you will be engaged. It's as simple as that.
So I'm curious, Casey, if you want to tell us a little bit more. If you're in a current relationship, I'm assuming that you are, because your question probably would have said, when will I find love or something like that. You're probably already in a relationship and you're expecting him to put a ring on it. I'd be interested to know more about your question and see if it's something perhaps different. Gina has educated me in this spirit world that oftentimes we ask a question that's really not spot on to what we need to know. So, maybe it's not when will I be engaged, but is this really my soul's mate? Or is this someone who's compatible with my truth and my core values? Maybe those are the types of questions that you should ponder and, maybe even ask Gina in the future of your spirit guides. So it's not just, when is this guy going to go to Zales and buy the ring, but stuff that's a little deeper and a little more, offers you a little more clarity than that. That's just my 2 cents. Gina, did you want to have anything to add to that?
I think that's spot on, honestly. You have to ask yourself the questions. You have to decide, what is it that you want, and if you want to be engaged to this man that you're with, then you make that happen. And if it's not going to happen because there's 2 people in a relationship, right? Then if you want to get engaged, you need to get out of this relationship, right? It's simple, It sounds difficult. We always feel like we don't have choices when we are in a situation, but you always have choices.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So Candy, Miss Candy, who broke out on the scene today with a lot of videos. She says her question is, how do I find out who my spirit guide even is? I know I have many working with me and I've been connecting with angels, but I don't know who my personal spirit guide is.
Okay. Can I take them all through just a little exercise right now? Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So everybody just kind of close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine your spirit guide in front of you. You're sitting in a chair, and they're in a chair right in front of you, facing you. And I want you to really feel the energy of your spirit guide expanding from them, expanding around them, And your energy also is expanding around you, so that both of your energies are now mingling together in between you. I want you to really feel into your spirit guide and feel their energy. Feel their personality. Feel how much they want for your success. And now out loud, I want you to go ahead and ask your spirit guide, what is your name? And then go with the first name that you received. And, if you didn't, you remember, this is not necessarily a voice you're going to hear externally. It might come in your own voice. You might not hear it, you might just know it inside, okay? And, when you're working with spirit, you have to have faith. You have to believe, okay? So know that the answer that you got is correct, even if it's something weird. I had someone the other day, their spirit guide's name was Jim. And this guy said, is it really Jim? That doesn't sound like a spirit guide's name. And I was like, did he tell you his name was Jim? And he's like, yeah. Well, then his name is Jim, okay? So, work with that. Sit with your spirit guide. Get to know them. Ask your spirit guide to show you themselves, And when it comes to spirit, they love to share, they love it. They love sitting with you and talking with you. And so make that time, that's really what it is about, is making the time to spend time with them and listen, listen, stop talking and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I've felt something similar happening to me. My hope, I've done many of the exercises that Gina advises on, and my hope is to become a student of Gina's by the end of the year when things slow down for me. But I have been openly practicing, well, I would say more so than practicing, just having a conversation, a dialogue, really, and having unwavering faith that my souls are guiding me, my angels are guiding me, and I'm giving them all the credit for many of the creative, shall I say, genius that I've been coming up with lately for clients and whatnot, because it's very different. Gina mentioned a comment to me in a phone call, maybe it was a video that I saw of hers, that the spirits use our senses that are beyond the regular 5 senses, taste, sight, smell, hearing. And I didn't quite know what that was, because I was thinking, what other senses do we really have, right? Mm-hmm. But with me, since I've been openly speaking to what feels like the air, really, to me, because I don't physically hear anything, right, yet, but I keep the faith that they're there and that they hear me. And I get a rush of chills, literally, from my scalp to the pads of my feet and everything in between, without being too out there. And I know that's, first of all, that never happened before. And now it happens all the time. And now I realize what Gina's saying, that's a sense, right? Getting the chills is a sensation that is not one of the 5. And I feel that now all the time. I was working on a client project on, I think it was Thursday or Friday. And it's been somebody that I've been working on for a while, and we haven't really had that awesome breakthrough that I'm used to having with clients. So I decided I was going to leave my office and go work in Starbucks, and to just change my perspective with this client. And we were working on a course, on an online course for her. And I was going down this road where I wanted it to start with the letter C. I was looking for words that start with the letter C. And I was scribbling things down, and I was doing, clarity and confidence and calming and all that stuff. Out of nowhere, it literally felt like, if you're this old, you'll remember, You remember the sensation of dropping a slide inside of like those slide projectors? You know that sound and that feeling of dropping the picture slide into the slide projector? That's exactly how I felt, that someone inserted a word literally in front of my eyes that had nothing to do with what I was thinking of. The word was bloom, as in a flower. I wasn't thinking about flowers. I don't necessarily like flowers. I wasn't going anywhere near that, right? And I thought, bloom. And now when I think about my client, she's very floral and very country chic, and she just loves that. The next word that came to my mind was flourish. So immediately I started to design logos for her courses around those two words. I sent everything over to her, and I literally prayed like, oh God, I hope she even likes this. We've never even talked about anything like this. She was over the moon, and she says, I can't believe that you picked flowers because everybody knows me as the flower lady. Now, I don't know what that was, but I do know that that did not come from my brain or my heart. That came from somebody, an intuition that was greater than me. And I immediately, Gina doesn't know this story, but I immediately sent Gina a message thanking her for opening me up to this possibility. Because it was literally like someone kissed my head and said, there's your drop of creativity in an instant. Now imagine if you could operate on a day-to-day basis with this intuition, this knowledge, this creativity. I mean, there would be nothing, absolutely nothing stopping us, right? So with that said, we're gonna get back to our questions. All right, so Heather Ann Horn, she's been with me a long time. She is a friend and client. She's a student of mine. And she says, I know that stepping outside my comfort zone is where the magic is. We all know that, right? However, something is holding me back. I know it's me holding me back, but what is it that I have to release or push through in order to achieve my dreams? What comes up for me is that I don't feel I deserve financial freedom. I don't feel I deserve extreme joy, fun, nor happiness. If that is the case, I would like some guidance as to how to overcome this obstacle because I'm so ready to soar. If that's not it, I am open to suggestions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Heather Ann Horn.
Give me a minute. Okay, Heather, you get the interesting one. This is a past life issue. And in a past life, you were the daughter of a slave, essentially, but she was very well taken care of indentured servant, more so. So that she worked for this family and you were able to live in the house with her. And you grew up with her children. And so you actually lived a very almost well-to-do lifestyle in that house as a result of being there. But you were not equal. And you knew that, and you were made aware of that frequently, not even so much by the family, but by the other servants who were constantly reminding you to mind your place and remember who you are. And so, maybe shoot me a private message or something and we can work on clearing that, but you need to just let that go. It's not part of this life anymore. And so, in fact, right now, let me just, I'm gonna just have Spirit kind of clear that out for you. Yeah. So let that go. It's not real. It's not part of this life anymore. It's not serving you and you don't need it.
Wow.
And you are worthy. You're so worthy. You are an extension of God here on this earth. You're worthy of everything good.
That is absolutely amazing. I'd love to hear how Heather felt hearing that. Very interesting, the past life stuff that holds us back without really even us knowing about it. Kimberly Campolitaro, another one of our luminaries, talks about those agreements, those past life agreements as well, which I find incredibly fascinating. It's now that we know that those agreements exist, it's actually very easy to check a lot of your fears and blocks with that idea of, could this be a past agreement, and maybe even tie it to something in our lives currently. So that's very fascinating. Casey Elizabeth McLoone, she was the put a ring on it girl, got back to us and sends us lots of hearts. And she says, can my spirit guides tell you anything from my mother that passed away in January 2012? I think in regards to my engagement question, it is that I am wondering if mom even approves.
Okay. Can you ask her what her mother's name is? Can you send that in, Heather? Or
I'm sorry, say that again, Gina.
can she send in her mom's name?
Sure, Casey, if you heard that, either say it in the Facebook group or put it right back in your question box. Tell us your mother's full name so that we can access her guides. Refresh.
I'm just accessing her, not her guides.
Oh, sorry. Her. Not completely sure on the lingo just yet. Okay, so it looks like we've gotten through our questions here in the webinar. I'm going to check over to Facebook. I know we had someone waiting there. Angela Mangosing, if you can hear us, go ahead and type your question right into Facebook underneath the live screencast, and we'll get to it. Okay, so we're going to wait for Angela, and we're waiting on Casey Elizabeth. Oh, her mother's name, Gina, is Sandy.
Okay. So she wants you to have a big hug. She loves you. She's happy for you. She only wants whatever you want. And the hug is like, I have, my hairs are like standing up on the back of my neck. Such beautiful, just, she's like, why are you asking me this? You know, she just wants you to be happy. She just wants you to be happy, and she would never stand in your way.
Beautiful. Casey, I want to add something here. And again, I also want to say that I don't actively speak to spirits. So this is Liz Smoke's opinion, okay? I was once where you were, asking whether my parents approved of someone that I was with. And I'm not saying that this is the case with you. I'm just giving you perception and context here. Because I was asking that, I knew that it was not okay with me. I was looking for someone else to say it was okay. That relationship ended very poorly. It would have been a very bad decision had I ended up marrying that person. I knew it wasn't the right fit for me, and I was asking for my parents to say it was, for me to kind of go into it. I went into it anyway. My mother did approve, but she didn't have all the information that she needed in order to make that decision. So again, this goes right back to what we said when you first started the question. Don't let the glossy wedding magazines and the shiny rings and all of that stuff cloud what your gut is trying to tell you, because you will regret it and you will lose so much more. On the flip side, if this is Prince Charming for you, you know it. If this is Mr. Right, you feel it. You feel that there's nobody else in this world that could treat you better and be better for you than your guy or girl. But, ask yourself, is there love that's better out there than the love that I am receiving from this individual? If that answer is resounding either way or doubtful either way, then stop and listen. Don't rush. There's no rush. There's no clock over your head, although it feels like it. Your friends might be getting married. You might be drowning in Pinterest boards. But you know what? That noise is going to get you into trouble. So really think about what you're about to do and what you're really asking for. Are you asking for a ring? Or are you asking to be loved, to be respected, to be honored, to be supported, all that other stuff? So we won't go too much far in. I've got chills all over the place. If this camera was closer, you would see it. So thank you for your honesty. Thank you, Gina, for calling upon Casey Elizabeth's mother. I'm sure that means a lot to her. So this has been amazing so far. Let me check.
Can I add one more thing, Liz?
Absolutely.
I just want to add that something that Spirit sends through all the time is a really strong message that you have to make your own decisions, and you should never let anyone else make your decisions for you. Okay? As a soul, you came here for you and nobody else. And that's not your parents, not your spouse, partner, and not your children, not your friends. It's all about you. And so sit with yourself, get very clear on what you want, and make your own decisions. Really, really important. And you'll never go wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I love the free will thing. Okay, so we're on the Facebook screencast, and we are with Angela Mangosing, and she tells us, I'm feeling blocked with my business venture and sometimes not sure if a healing practice is right for me.
Okay, Angela, they're showing me that you're very much a hermit type, and you like to be by yourself. You probably write a lot, journal a lot, or would be really good at that. And you're smart in that you're allowing yourself to feel this. Okay. It really is important that you stay within your archetypes of what you're capable of doing. You can always, step outside of them, but it's never going to feel comfortable. So, it doesn't mean that you can't be a healer in all of your interactions and through writing or through, maybe just more individualized work, but follow your gut, and you would do really well, in a very solo type of career. If you could even work your healing into a business that is, completely online, where you are actually maybe like a Dear Abby type of thing, where you're responding to people's questions by, answering them by writing, that's how you're going to flourish.
That answered your question, Angela. That was pretty clear, if you ask me. Awesome. Okay. So Gina, is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there anything else that Spirit is telling you to share with us tonight?
Let's listen. I don't give up on yourselves. You know, we wonder all the time, you know, am I doing the right thing? How, you know, what should I do? When should I do it? And here's another message for all of you. When you are on Facebook and you are looking in all of these other groups and you are seeing all of these people and they have these amazing photo shoots and they have all this, you know, stuff going on, and you just are so frustrated, know that you need to go inside of yourself, figure out what it is that you have to offer the world, and then offer that. And don't worry about what's happening there. You know, in terms of all of this marketing stuff and going into these groups and building relationships, but meanwhile you're in there and you're just looking at all of this stuff going by that is basically people marketing to you, right? And it gets very frustrating. You need to step back, shut the darn computer off, and do your work. It doesn't mean you can't use the computer for your work, but you cannot spend your life there scrolling through that garbage and making yourself feel bad about yourself. Okay? You're wonderful, you're amazing, and you have gifts to bring to the world. So spend time doing that and not this other garbage.
Yes, I would agree. And that is a fantastic segue to our next segment. I just want to close by saying that Angela Mangosing did get back to us, and she said, yes, the spirits were very clear and very accurate. She's very grateful. So let me just check here, make sure that there are no more questions for the spirit guides. And then we'll go into the business and branding segment here, which Gina just segued into beautifully. Okay, Casey Elizabeth says, can't thank you both enough. I have no words to express how I'm feeling. Just so much gratitude. I know exactly how you feel, Casey. And I'm sure a lot of the women are probably bawling in their tea right now. So for that, I'm sorry. If the mascara is burning your eyes, go rinse off, get back, because now it's time to get to work. We've all been enlightened just a little bit. And if you want a heck of a lot more of enlightenment, I will post a link in here so that you can schedule time for a proper reading with Gina. She does it over the phone. That's how we work together. She also did a reading for me, and I was incredibly enlightened. So if you want to do that, you'll have the chance to schedule some time with her and set that up. Okay, business and branding. So what Gina segued into is what so many of us, if not the majority of us, get sucked into. And that's looking over the fence, right? What are they wearing, and what are they driving, and what are they saying, and how are they doing it, right? We disguise it as research, right? We probably amass course after course after course. We don't really have a direction. We haven't yet consulted a single soul. We haven't had a discovery call. We keep doing stuff for free, and we don't really start. And Gina said it right. Close down the social media, right, which is the mirror to the world, and begin taking steps forward, doing what you do. Karen, Casey, Angela, Candy, do what you do. If you're making videos, start making videos. If you don't know what to say, just talk. You don't necessarily have to publish them out on YouTube or Facebook. Just begin practicing what you do, right? If you're ready and you have the talent, if you are a hypnotist, if you're a Reiki healer, whatever business you are in, begin working the business. Setting up your first few discovery calls right now, like tomorrow morning, right? And charge something for it. I have clients who are incredibly talented and skilled and educated, and they charge for their first session $30. Now, that's nothing. And to a coach that says, I'm afraid, but you know what? It's something, and it's a step. And when they get that $30 client, it might as well be a $4,000 client for that coach, because they feel over the moon that somebody's willing to pay them for their knowledge. Again, whether it's $30 or $1,000, it doesn't matter. They started. And that $30, 30-minute call will turn into a longer term relationship. And that's what I want for all of you tonight. And I hope you're posing your questions. You're not limited to any one question. You can put as many as you want in Facebook or in the webinar. Regarding your business and your brand, we will talk about all of that. But there was somebody in the Soul Purpose Society group that was really struggling with a direction. And I made the analogy of cooking. You can have the best recipe. You can have tons of pictures on Pinterest. You can have the freshest ingredients from the farmer's market, all laid out in your kitchen. That a meal does not make, right? It requires the cooking. It requires you. It requires the action. So you can have pictures and websites and all this beautiful research and all these certifications, an eye chart after your name. But if you don't pick up the phone and invite someone in, you're not going to get any business. I don't care what your opt-in looks like. I don't care if you're MailChimp, Aweber, I don't care. It's not going to work. And there are tons of businesses that start and do very well without any of that stuff. I know, because many of them are my clients. And they are successful people that don't have a website, that don't have an opt-in, that don't do MailChimp, that don't do any of that. And you know a lot of these people too. The problem here is that we're stuck in the online world. So all we see are the online people, right? We don't happen to see the people that are like our pediatrician, our doctor, our therapist, all these talented people that live in our neighborhood and our communities that aren't online, but they're doing what they love and they're making money at it because there is a real world around us. Online is meant to be beautiful because it's all you have. You can't walk into a storefront and see the dresses hanging on the rack or laying down on the sofa or the massage table and getting the sensation of the massage. That doesn't exist. So online, everybody is beautiful. Everything sounds wonderful because you can buy a copywriter for 10 cents on the dollar, right? And make yourself look and sound however you like. I know, that's my business, right? But if you come to the table with nothing in your coconut but some pictures, you're not going to do much, right? So yes, that stuff is important if you're building an online business, but it's not necessary to start tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Tonight before you go to bed, I hope you're a little more inspired than when you got here. You can create a hit list of who you're going to reach out to tomorrow morning, right? If you're wanting to really venture out into the online world, start thinking about what that presentation is going to look like. You need to have the hair. You don't have to be beautiful, but you need to be polished. And people need to know that you are open for business, right? If your profile page has got you laying on the beach with some black sunglasses on and the big floppy hat, that doesn't necessarily say you're open for business, right? So as professional women in the end, yes, we are all healers of some sort, but we would like to make a profit in all of this. And profit comes from smart consumers. That is who we want to attract. So make sure you have your best business foot forward. You may not have it all figured out, and that's okay. That's the magic of the online world. You can look great and take baby steps in the process. So we will definitely talk a lot more about business and branding in the Facebook group. We can talk as deep as you want till the cows come home. I'm going to show you a way that you can start to make major strides forward in just a moment. I'm going to check right back to our Soul Purpose group right now just to make sure that there are no questions waiting for us here. Gina, do you have anything you wanted to chime in on?
No, but I think it's really funny that this is what you're talking about, and this is what Spirit said was the message that everybody needed to know.
Take baby steps in the process. So we will accidentally started the screencast inside of Facebook. Okay, sorry about that. Let me check inside the webinar. Let's see if we have any business branding questions here.
It's also important that everybody really remember that, you know, you have everything that you need. We always think we need more certifications or more degrees or more classes or more information before we can get started, but you have everything that you need inside of you. So, you know, go in there. Like I said, you really need to take the time to sit with yourself and sit with your spirit guides and get clear and listen. Totally important.
Yeah, and you know, you heard me mention this before in the group. The odds that you're going to nail exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life the first time out of the gate is not going to happen. I'm not even going to say it's rare. It's not going to happen. We all start in one direction. I started in one direction. Gina started in a whole way different path. We all do. But you know what? We would have never gotten where we are without starting and exploring and trying and seeing how things feel and fit. That's the only way you're going to know if your soul purpose or your direction is really meant to be the direction that you're going in. So throwing fear to the wind is going to be huge, right? You've got to get over yourself, over the judgment. There are 100,000 ways to do that, and you're more than welcome to ask that question inside of Soul Purpose Society. But what Gina and I are here to do tonight is to move you forward tonight, right? So clean up your Facebook profiles, clean up your visual branding online. Start to get clear with the direction that you're going in. So, okay, so we've got some more questions. Angela says, mission and vision statements. Also, I'm a recovering addict. Should I put that into my personal bio? That's how I found out I was gifted and began my recovery. Absolutely, Angela. If it's part of what you do for individuals, then it is relevant. I would say if that wasn't what you did, then I would say maybe not so relevant. Again, having the limited details that I do right now, I would say if you're saying that it's part of your story and how you became to where you are, then definitely it's relevant. And that goes for everybody, by the way. Your story and your message comes from the mess. So if you're really struggling with finding your purpose in life, that's always my step number one. Begin to journal out your most darkest hour, whether it was divorce, health problems, financial crisis, bankruptcy, breakup, whatever it was. Your message to the world will likely come out of that survival story. And you can either tie that to what you're doing right now or pluck your purpose out of that story. So mission and vision statements, not a fan of. This is why. Unless you really know how to craft them and use them as a compass, I would say, okay, you usually would craft a mission and vision statement after you've been in business for a while and you really want to take your business up a notch, more strategic in nature. If you're just starting out, mission and vision isn't going to hold a whole lot of water. You can absolutely create an intention for your business and your client, because that is going to morph over time, what your intentions are for your business. When I started, my intention was get a paying client. That was my intention. And then it grew over time. Now that I've been in business for a few years now, my intentions change every 3 or 4 months because I grow that quickly. My community changes and evolves that quickly. So their needs of me change. Therefore, I want to meet them where they are. But I would say set an intention that's not a broad paintbrush that will suit you for the next 3 to 6 months, and then begin using that as a daily mantra until you've met it and you're ready to move on to the next intention. Anything to add there, Gina?
No, sounds wonderful.
Okay. All right, let's check our board here. Oh, Karen said that she had, let's see, I had a name come to me, so I made a Facebook page with it, but that's it. Is one's brand one's own name? Fantastic question, Karen.
Yes.
My school of thought is yes, your name, especially if you're a solopreneur, right? Of course, there's major companies and big teams and all that stuff. That's not what we're talking about. If you're the sole provider, then yes, the brand is you. It should be your name. Specifically, your Facebook page, like my Facebook page, for example, is Liz Smoke, personal branding expert. This is why. When you go into Facebook and you search my name, the first thing that comes up is my personal timeline, and immediately below it is my business page. So if you didn't really know what I did, and maybe you met me at a networking meeting or saw me online, you would go to Facebook and search me, and you would see immediately what I did for a living. But if my Facebook page was Be the Brand Academy, which is one of my courses, you wouldn't know that that's me, right? And then a lot of people have a hard time remembering what is not my name. Like, oh, I think it was Branding Academy. It could have been anything. So always, always, always lead with your name, because you evolve over time. And you don't want to go changing your brand every time you have a new flavor that you want to put out on the market. You always want to be yourname.com, and then bringing in new programs, new services under that name. Okay. Louisa says, Liz, what if the business is social media? So I'm not completely clear on that question. But if your business is in social media, then you definitely have to get very visual. That's the only thing that works online. Hanging around in Facebook groups is a tiny component that must be executed very carefully, because you will lose all of your hours. Hours equals money. Again, if you're a coach online of any sort, your hours are the currency. That's what people consume, is your time. So if you are losing time and leaking time all over the internet, then you are losing money. But if your business is social media, then you must get tight with how you deliver yourself online. Meaning, when people go online to stalk you, not the bad stalking, just the fact that they're looking about who you are without you knowing it, are your pictures polished? Do your pictures say enough about you that makes somebody want to work with you? Or is it literally you at a college party or on the beach bathing yourself? Like, who cares, right? If you are really in business. And if you look at all the luminaries that are in Soul Purpose Society, and many of you have fantastic presences online, you will see the difference of an entrepreneur and someone who doesn't quite yet have it figured it out. Right? Now, who's the person they're going to reach out to? I'll tell you this as well. When I mentioned earlier, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. That client of mine that made a $30 discovery call with someone, she's done nothing else. In fact, she's still working her corporate job full time. The only thing she did was take a professional picture. And you can actually look her up. She's in Soul Purpose Society. Her name is Andrea Hall, H-A-L-L. The only thing she changed about what she's doing was a professional image branded by me, and her entire world has changed. Why? Because everyone is about perception. Everyone is about perception. You'll find people that you even put up on a pedestal, right? Maybe people in the media, other coaches, other authors, you have them on a pedestal. And when you go see their Facebook pages, they're not at all like who you imagine them to be. They're not polished. They're drinking and having pictures that are, maybe not that appropriate, right? So there's an incongruence there, which that, by the way, is also branding. So Karen, you asked, I have no idea how to brand myself. What is branding my business? A brand is how you want to be known in the world. So when people see you, hear of you, hear about you, what is it that you want them to feel and think and know about you? Is it party girl? Is it funny girl? Is it serious and polished? Is it, hey, you're my pal? What is it? And you try to convey that message visually with pictures, with videos, with posts. If you search around Facebook, especially to other people's timelines, you get a sense of who they are by what their timeline looks like. You'll get people that are very political or, got a lot of edgy content on there that kind of stirs people up. You've got people that, are very holistic. Everyone's timeline looks different, and you can say that that is their brand. So branding is a huge hot topic, and there's a lot to learn there. But the early steps toward branding is starting where it's easy, having some professional shots taken of yourself. That doesn't mean it has to be expensive. You can literally go to Groupon.com and find somebody to do it for $11 and have a nice picture of yourself. If you're inviting customers, that perception has to be there, that you're polished and you're open for business. There's no open sign on social media. It is your face that either invites people or turns people off, right? There's no kind of middle ground there. Okay. So let's see if we've got anything else here. Karen, you're very welcome. Candy says, thank you so much for that exercise. Oh, that was the exercise of naming your spirit guide. Love, love, love. Is there anything that my spirit guide wants me to know that I'm missing? Let's see. It looks like Gina might be frozen. So we're going to skip that question. Sorry, Candy, for a moment until she can get back into the group. Okay, it looks like she's coming back in. Okay, so we are now an hour in. We're more than welcome to have more questions come to us. I'm just checking Facebook right now to see if there are any others there. There aren't any others there right now. Okay, so any other questions on branding and business, please feel free to pop them into the webinar box. I hope all of you are having a great time so far. I know I am. We're getting all of these things answered. Okay, so it looks like we've got everybody answered right now. So, it has occurred to me that some of you might not know completely what soul purpose really is. So we had we had one major event in the beginning. We had the watch party for Oprah's Belief, which was very exciting. I know many of you were part of that. And that was really the segue of what Soul Purpose Society really is, excuse me. It's finding what your belief system is, going back to the root of that belief system and determining where your compass is, right? What you believe is true, what compass is going to guide you and lead you in the right direction, and then start moving forward with the help of all of us. But Soul Purpose Society is actually something more. If you aren't yet privy to it, it is a membership site. It's called the Online Learning Retreat, where all of us luminaries, Gina, Kimberly, Anhara, Sasha, Angelina, myself, many others, have put in a lot of time, a lot of our best content and courses into the site, where all of you can begin to take steps moving forward in your business, no matter what your business really is. So the majority of the courses are soul searching courses. All the luminaries that I mentioned are all in the healing intuitive space, like many of you. So they will teach you how to use energy, spirit guides, intuition, gut, in many areas, and I'll go through them right now as I show you all. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share my screen, invite you inside of the Real Soul Purpose Society so that all of you can be a part of what we've all been building over the past several months since July in order to get you all off the ground. So let me share my screen. Just take a moment. Okay, so if you can see my screen right now, just let me know if you can and say, yes, we can see the screen. That would be great. We'll try and get Gina back in. So if you can see my screen, just let us know. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Excellent, everyone can see. So this here, if you haven't seen this yet, this is soulpurposesociety.com. This is the online learning retreat where we host all of our soul and business strategy courses. So I'm going to walk you through this tonight. The doors are officially opening here on this call, and I want to walk you through that. So let's see if we can't just play this really short video that really describes what soul purpose is.
There's been a shift. I'm sure you've already felt it. That's why you're here. But for me, it just happened. I thought I was doing my life's work, running a successful business as a brand consultant. It gave me a life of freedom, purpose, and opened many doors of opportunity for me. I finally made it. Or so I thought. What set my work apart from other consultants was a strange and uncanny insight I had into businesses of really all kinds. So often I'm asked, how do you know this? You've never been in my industry or run a business like mine. I didn't have that answer. I didn't know what gave me such crystal clear insight into the way people thought and the strategies a business, any business, could apply in order to be successful. But you see, I always felt connected somehow. I always felt that it was the universe, God, placing me in exactly the right place, with the right people at just the right time. I knew that when I followed the cues given to me by the universe, what would follow was a clear path to my desires. Still, knowing all of this, I never marketed my business in this profound and soulful way. It wasn't until a large group of my students introduced themselves to me as intuitive, healers, spirit practitioners. It was so odd to me that my work would attract so many spiritual people. After all, I did market in a spiritual way. It was at this moment that I knew I had once again been led by the universe to serve in a whole new and different way. Was in the second launch of my branding academy. And once enrollment closed, all the students gathered together in an online group, in an online forum. And they began to introduce themselves. And I started to realize that all but 2 students were metaphysical, intuitive healers of some sort. So it could be hypnotists, Reiki healers, chakra dancers, chakra healers, metaphysical jewelry designers, things like that. So that struck me as very strange. I'm very connected to the universe and believe that God has put me here for a reason, but I've never positioned that in my marketing at all. But as the marketing geek I am, I wanted to break that apart. What about me attracted this entire group of healers? So I remember that night, we were in that forum, chatting back and forth, and it was the middle of the night, and I was in bed with my family, and they said to me that they felt attracted to me because they felt safe. Even that word was odd because it's a word that I've never used in any marketing collab. They felt that they were safe talking about money, talking about profit, how to bring their best self forward, visibility. Those are the things that I do teach. So in the closing comments that night, one of the ladies said to me, Liz, there are more of us to come. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. I was listening. I knew that at that very moment, my daily prayer had been answered. I prayed that my work, my talents be used for their highest good. And this was my opportunity to step up. I wanted to create a safe place for intuitive women and spiritual entrepreneurs to gain the tools and training necessary to dive deeper into their own gifts, broaden their knowledge of marketing those gifts to a mainstream world, and further the healing our world so desperately needs. Soul Purpose Society is all of those things. It is a retreat for women learning from other spiritual experts. It's a place where you can safely express your beliefs, your desires, and your fears. Together, we explore and master all the topics necessary of a successful online business and overcome the blocks holding you from your highest calling and maximum profitability. You were not created to go it alone, to struggle, or to hide your light. A deep and powerful message was placed within you. A message that only you can deliver. A message meant to touch and heal others. Soul Purpose Society is home to other like-minded, motivated women who are on the path to delivering their message to the world in an easy, authentic, and brilliant way. This is where you belong. You're here right now because the universe ushered you here, because you're seeking support, collaboration, and guidance. Welcome. This is the sign you've been waiting for, and all you have to do is step inside.
Okay, so I hope you like that. That really described what Soul Purpose is about. I would like to take you inside even further to Soul Purpose Society. Let me show you all of the courses and everything that is inside the membership site. So here is the course library. So when you join the membership site, soulpurposesociety.com, you will immediately land in your own course library. Here you will have access to tons of courses. Every month we upload more and more courses from all types of different coaches, healers, business strategists. So, and they're divided up into two sections: soul strategy and business strategy. So under soul strategy, you'll see that we have Access Your Inner Advisory Board. And that's Anhara Linera, our luminary that you meet inside of the Facebook group from Spain. She tells you and shows you exactly how to access your spirit guides. She, like Gina, is also an expert in spirit guides, and she actually takes you through the process and prayer of how to access them, and the work on creating a pendulum, which I'll show you that in a moment, to help you in hearing that voice as well. Conquering Your Fears, that is Carolyn Bennett Sullivan. I'm sure a lot of you have already met her again in the Facebook group. All of these luminaries are there. And she shows us how to recognize and conquer all the many faces of fears and how they present themselves in our lives. Divine Decision Making, that's Gina. and her course, and she shows you how to make the right decision every time. It's similar to what you already went through with her. And she takes you step by step through that. Sasha Angelina is an energy healer, and she talks about the energy of manifesting and what it takes, how to shift your energy and manipulate your energy into manifesting a life of your dreams, whether it be prosperity, health, love. All of that can be manifested with energy, and she shows us how to do that. Kimberly Campolataro, she's got a couple courses in here that you can take, and it is Habits of Happy People. She really breaks down how to be happy for absolutely no apparent reason, which I love, because some people walk around the earth and they really don't feel that happy. So this breaks down what habits you be using day to day to be happy. Mind Over Money, that's another one by Anhara, which I love. And she talks about how to get real with your fear of money and the blocks of money. So Heather, when you talk about you don't deserve financial freedom, this is definitely a starting place for you. Mind Over Money takes you through how to unlock abundance and prosperity, and how to actually get really clear with where you need to be financially. You know, we create our own compass with finding money and seeing how much of it we need to really live and manage our business. The Scholar, the Savant, and the Sage. This is another phenomenal course by Kimberly Campolataro, and she talks about our three brains. So it sounds a little strange, very intriguing, but basically she uncovers the three neurological systems within our body, right? This is not outside of us, it's inside of our body, that we need to heal and listen to in order to move forward in a very educated and conscious manner. So that was really interesting to me. That was one of the first courses that we had inside of Soul Purpose Society. It's a beautiful course, and it's really going to change the way you look at your body and you feel about your body, because once you realize that there are areas in your body that are critical in your decision making, whether it be your love life, business life, your money, you're going to take care of your body in a very different way. Now, for those of you who would like to become a speaker, whether it be a paid speaker or take your message up to a bigger platform, Anhara teaches us how to become a spirited speaker, how to use the guidance and intuition or intuition of the spirit guides to really elevate our talent as a speaker. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart. This Thursday, in 2 days, I will be taking the TEDx stage, and it's very intimidating. If you don't know what TEDx is, just Google TED Talk, like the man's name, TED Talk, and you'll see it's a global platform, and it's quite intimidating. And I will be on that stage on Thursday. So you bet that I took this course from Anhara to make sure that I was calling in all my reinforcements to help me on that stage. She has a prayer, an opening and a closing prayer that I literally carry in my car as part of this course, that you can say before or after any kind of networking event, anytime you'll be speaking, that really conjures up a lot of inspiration and ability to inspire others in your talk. So here then we've got our business strategy. And again, these two categories, soul and business strategy, grows with new courses every single month. The first course is a beginner's guide to building your personal brand. That course is pretty intensive. It's for the beginner, and it takes you from step 0 all the way out to being visible, polished, everything you need to know. That course is given by me. The next 3 courses will be rolled out here in the next few days. Marketing to Women. And if you're already in business and you're looking to target women, which probably most of us are, this is definitely the course that tells you what the triggers are that women use when making their purchase, how they want to buy and see products, how they trust individuals and companies. If you are still employed and you're looking to begin the life and business of your dreams, Quit Your Job in 90 Days is probably the easiest course you can take to get you started. It's got great modules in there, great worksheets to really help you get prepared to leave your job and begin your own business. So if you're still working, that one's for you. And then this one is near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorites, actually. It's called the Ultimate To-Do List. And to-do lists and organizations is such a huge part of everyone's life that I finally found an incredible system that doesn't take, 3 notebooks and an iPad and a computer to operate. So I share that with you and I show you how to use it. It's a free tool, so it's nothing that you have to buy after you take the course. That shows you it really is going to be the last to-do list you ever use. I use it daily and it has changed my life. So when we talk about the luminaries, here they are in their own environment. They look very beautiful. There you see Kimberly Campolattaro. You see Sasha Angelina, Anhara Lanera, Carolyn Bennett, and Gina Medveds. So you really get to know who they are. As you know, they're very approachable. They've been with you this whole time inside the Facebook group, and they'll be teaching you all of these courses. Every single month, you will have a live call just like this one with me and possibly the other coaches to really strategize where your life is going, what your purpose is in that life, and how to build a profitable business around that purpose. So that alone is the price of admission. That call is well over an hour. Those of you who have been on calls with me know what you get. They're really life-changing calls. Again, they're no different than what you're getting tonight. So you'll get one of those calls every single month as part of Soul Purpose Society. Now, I want you to see what it actually looks like when you go in to one of the courses. So let's take, for example, one of my favorites, the Scholar, the Savant, and the Sage. So here you have a message from Kimberly. She sets the intention of what she would like you to learn in the course. Here are her modules. Her course modules are there. And then when you go to the course worksheets, each course has its own workbook that takes you through the material. So if you are a visual learner, you'll do well with the videos. If you're someone who likes to print things out, write things out, scribble, you'll go with the workbook. Either way, you'll have access to videos as well as a course workbook. And always having a message from your luminary. We also have a growing resource library. Once you get to the resource library, again, you'll have me right there setting the intention of what you're about to learn. This library grows daily, not weekly, not monthly, but daily. You will have all types of worksheets in there having to do with soul purpose, business strategy, all the various aspects of building an online business. You'll find them in here. So here's just a brief example. You have a marketing funnel and service offerings funnel. That's broken out to you, and a lot of people charge for that. A lot of people keep that very secret because online coaches use that as their bread and butter. I mentioned to you earlier when talking about how to speak to spirit guides that using a pendulum is one way to communicate with your spirit guides. That workbook right there shows you exactly how to use a pendulum. There's a chart inside. You can literally just print off and use it to begin speaking with your spirit guides literally tonight. This one here is extremely popular for people starting out. The Personal Branding Photo Shoot Handbook. This is a 20-page handbook, full color, that shows you exactly what should happen during your first branding photo shoot. You can share this with your photographer, makeup artist, hairstylist, whatever you want. There's a style book inside that shows you what to wear. And there are tons of examples of people just like you, just starting out, that have gone through a branding photo shoot. Your tribe awaits you. We can see right here, that's the thumbnail. This is a document that helps you break down who your tribe is and where to find them and how to help them. So this is a valuable, valuable resource. Again, it's one of my top worksheets. Tribe Awaits You is phenomenal to help really hone your message in what you're looking for in a business and really what your calling is going to be. If you were in Bare Your Soul Challenge, you got a sneak peek of the My Offerings worksheet. So that we placed in here for you as well. And again, every day, every other day, we'll be adding more workbooks, more worksheets and guides, full color, fill in the blanks, templates that will help you really launch your brand and your business. Okay, there are some interviews in here. In the interview space, these are live interviews that I have done with other professionals in the business. Here on the left, we've got Kristen Max. She is a professional blogger and founder of AtHomeMoms.com. And her topic is blogging for profit and impact. If that's your zone of genius, you're going to watch that interview and take lots of notes. All these interviews are anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long. So they are chock full of actionable information. This is not high-level theoretical stuff. Christina Marie from Australia. She is an efficiency expert, formerly with IBM, and she shows us how to take our day from frazzled to focus. She shows us how to build systems in our day and in our business that really makes us productive. My dear friend and colleague, Silva Harapetian, is a former news correspondent, and she shows us how to tell our story in a way that makes an impact in the media. So even if you didn't have a business, but you wanted to share your story of whatever, or your nonprofit cause in the media, she shows you exactly how to do it there. Again, every month we will be adding a new interview each time. Next month, what you don't see here is going to be legal expertise, an interview coming soon. We also have a forum which you can engage with all of the other luminaries and all of the other soul seekers within Soul Purpose Society and get all of your questions answered in real time. No limitations on your questions. You get to speak to all of us as often as you'd like inside the forum. How does that sound? Any questions so far? I'm going back to the webinar module to see who is still here and who would like to ask any questions on what we're going through. Going to check over here in our Facebook page. Okay, excellent. So if this sounds like something that you want to know more about, that you want to join, then I want to take you through that spot right now. Let's see, Gina's back. Hi, Gina.
Hi.
So did you have anything to add? Did you get to see the tour?
I did get to see the tour. I'm excited. The site looks so beautiful. It's more than we imagined, I think, really.
Awesome, awesome. This is Gina's first time in seeing it as well. So when I say it's new to everybody, it's new to everybody. So we're really excited. It looks like we do have a question popping up. So Angela, the web address is soulpurposesociety.com. soulpurposesociety.com. And that will take you to the front page. I'm going to screen share again. So for all of that, everything that we just mentioned, here you would go to soulpurposesociety.com, and that takes you to the home page. You can read a little bit more about what we do, and you can click any of these Join Now links. And this is what will happen and where it will take you. So for the monthly call with me and the luminaries, for the real-time forum access to me and all the luminaries, for all of the courses on a monthly basis to keep you moving forward, no more getting swallowed by social media, right? We keep moving you forward. You have a pool of coaches right at your fingertips that you can access really anytime you like. For the ongoing interviews with people outside of our membership site, which will be coming in again every month, all of that you can get here for $97 a month. So I'll just read that if that's a little too small for you on Google Hangouts. Learn from established, professionally trained, and experienced entrepreneurs who take you by the hand, like we have already, and lead you toward creating the business of your dreams. In-depth master classes, one-on-one interviews on connecting with soul, influencing the world with your message, and profiting from a business that aligns with your highest calling. Core e-business branding and marketing training. Simplified how-to demonstrations to turbo boost your business and customer pipeline. And of course, my favorite piece is a networking community to help you find collaborators, mentors, vendors, and anything else. One thing that will be coming in the next 30 to 45 days is also a marketplace. This marketplace is going to have the best products, courses, books, anything that you really need to move forward in your journey. You will be able to find them hand-picked by our luminaries and myself in one great spot. You'll be able to purchase them at a discount and find really everything you need in order to practice your healing and your intuition and move your business forward. This is all available for $97 a month. There is no contract. You can cancel at any time. If you don't like it, which you would probably have to be a coconut not to, right? You can cancel and there will be no hard feelings, and you will still be part of the Soul Purpose Society Facebook group. You can also opt in annually. For those of you who are really money conscious, this is the way to go. Why? Because you get 6 months free. So for $5.97 a year, you get to stick with us for the entire 12 months and get 6 months free. Now let me put that into context. There are many masterminds out there that are well into the 5 figures, $6,000, $7,000, that go 1 year long. Those masterminds have a monthly call with the coach. They have a Facebook group with the students, and there are no courses. You just have the interaction with the coach and with one another. And they were about $6,000. This is 1 full year for $5.97. And guess who gets to suggest the courses? You do. because we didn't create this platform to make things that you could not use. We created this platform so that you could suggest to us what you needed to know. And between all of the luminaries here and the ones that have yet to be introduced, can create the courses that you need in a language that you understand, that you feel safe with, and put them inside of the membership site. So you have two options. $97 a month gets you everything. $597 a year gets you everything and then some, because you're getting 6 months for free. So here is where the magic happens. You simply click join now under either one of those. So here, for example, this is what it will look like when you place your order. It's a very simple registration form. We take all forms of credit cards, and this will be charged immediately to your credit card. If you choose the monthly $97, that will only be charged at the time of purchase, $97. Again, you can cancel at any time. Verified by authorize.net. So this is exactly what it will look like. So I'm going to go over back to here. Let's see, I want to go over to see these beautiful mugs over here. All right. So let's see, all of our courses, all the luminaries are here. I'm going to check to see if there are any questions. Larry Kelly says, hi, Liz and Gina.
Hi, Larry.
He has a question for Gina. What is the best way for me to experience oneness with God? Also to share God's love with others. What is the best way?
Okay, Larry, it's an excellent question. So I think, again, I wanted to just sort of take everybody through a little exercise. Is that okay, Liz?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so go ahead, guys, and close your eyes. And I just want you to imagine a beautiful white beam of light shining down upon you. And know that this light is the love of God. And I just want you to sit in this light for a moment. And imagine this light and love pouring in through the top of your head and filling you up. All the way from the tips of your toes up to the top until it overflows. And in a circle surrounding you, I want you to imagine all of your spirit guides and all of the angels, all of the archangels surrounding you and sending out their unconditional love right into your heart space. In this light, you are perfect. You are an extension of God, created exactly as you were meant to be. There is nothing that you can do to impress, and there is nothing that you can do to offend. And you can come into this space at any time and spend a moment or spend many moments, and you can ask your questions of your spirit guides. And that is the best way to be one with God, because you already are. It's just a matter of truly recognizing it and remembering it. Does that answer the question?
Very beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Larry, I'm so glad that you were able to jump on in. I know that you're a caregiver, full-time caregiver. So I'm hoping that you've been able to see some parts of this. It is available after the live call. So thank you so much for being in here. Now, if there are no more questions, or if there are, please post them. But the moment that we've all been waiting for, right? Who is winning entry into Soul Purpose Society's online learning retreat? So it's not a secret. Somebody even said it in the questions. Louisa nailed it. It is Karen. Karen is the winner by a landslide. Her videos were out of this world. No, but it came down to points. Let's see, we've got some feedback coming on here. I'm going to try and close some of this stuff. So Gina, if you have anything open, you might want to close it just to make sure that this is all that's on. So Karen, yes, you are the winner, and you get a 3-month entry into soulpurposesociety.com. So you get to enjoy all of the courses that you saw tonight, or that you'll see in the replay, all of the PDFs. You'll get to see all of that for a month for free. And if you love it, you can stay. I hope that you do, and spread the word. So congratulations. I'm so thrilled with the work that you've done. It's very, very impressive. And I hope that you continue on that train, and you keep putting yourself out there and showing the world that you are worthy of attention, you are worthy of customers, clients, profits, and we all have your back. So if you are interested in joining Soul Purpose Society with the rest of us, you know where to go. It's soulpurposesociety.com. And I am also going to be sending out the link to create an appointment with Gina to take her discussion further with you. And if there are any questions at all, please feel free to share them. I'm looking right now into the Facebook group and in the webinar. All right. If there are any questions at all about Soul Purpose Society or about the Spirit Guides of Gina or myself, please go ahead and post them. We're pulling them up right now for the next minute. Okay, it looks like Larry Keller. Any questions at all? We're having some major feedback here. All right, so with that, there are no more questions. I hope to see you on the other side of soulpurposesociety.com. If you have any follow-up questions to tonight, we will be back in the Facebook group as usual and answering all those questions there. So congratulations, Karen. Thank you to Gina and all of our Soul Spirit Guides for being with us tonight.
Our pleasure. Thanks everybody for coming, and I hope you enjoyed it. I so am looking forward to spending more time with you in Soul Purpose Society and hopefully seeing you inside the courses.
Awesome. Well, everyone, have a good night. I look forward to any questions and thoughts after tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a pleasant evening. Thanks so much, and lots of love and light to all of you.
Bye-bye.